What is going on, guys? Hopefully the comment section will be working today. We had it working for a little bit on Jason and I's show earlier, but it seemingly disappeared. So hopefully it will be back. And hopefully we get some people in here too. Come on in here, guys. I know you want to watch. I know you want to watch this film breakdown of Trent Williams. Come on in. Just get settled. Say what's up when you get in. And when we get a little bit more people in here, we'll get this thing rolling. You feel me? So while you get in here, like up this post, get it going. I'm going to get the video pulled up and we're going to hop right into the tape. We're going to hop right to, if you like breaking down tape, if you like offensive line stuff, this is where you want to be because we're going to have some fun today. We are going to have some fun breaking down Trent Williams and Daniel Brunskill today because Daniel Brunskill deserves some credit and we're going to give it to him. But we're also always, like we typically have been doing, we're going to break down Trent Williams, the rest of the offensive line play. We'll sneak in a couple other plays here or there. But really wanted to start having some fun breaking down Trent Williams, what he offers, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. What is going on, guys? We see you guys hopping into the chat. If you guys could help me out, get this thing liked up, get this thing into the algorithm. Let's get this thing rolling. All right, let's get the screen up. We want to share screen. There we go. Thank you. Come on. Man, I don't know what's going on today. Today we're having all kinds of fun stuff. No comments earlier. Comments have been hard to pull up on the screen at certain instances. Might as well talk about it right now. The 49ers have released the Wednesday practice report. Did not participate today. Running back Jermichael Hasty, ankle. D-line Maurice Hurst, calf. Elijah Mitchell did not practice today. Rib finger. No Trent Williams today. Veteran day, and he deserves a veteran day. That there, Trent Williams, which is why we're going to break down the game that he had against the Rams. Limited today at practice for the 49ers. Offensive lineman Jalen Moore, knee. Cornerback Josh Norman, ribs. Wide receiver Deebo Samuel, shin. So I think the only thing that's really kind of that we're going to monitor throughout the week is we're going to monitor Elijah Mitchell, see if he'll be able to go or not. And if not, maybe Jeff Wilson gets an expanded role. We're definitely going to be looking at some Jeff Wilson runs today. Jeff Wilson, surprise! We're going to watch it. We're going to watch it. I appreciate that, Sean. If you tuned in earlier with me and Jason, you can catch that. Jason and I had a great discussion. The state of the franchise that we typically do on a Wednesday. It's a fun episode as always. We see the SDS crew in here. Let's get this going. Let's get some tape going. It is what it is. If more people want to come in and watch, that's okay with me. They can join us at a later time. Let's get into it. Let's get into this. And as always, guys, those likes help get this thing out there. We get more people in here. We get more vibes going. It's always more fun with some vibes. Let's go to the very first play of the game. Let's start the very first play of the game from Trent Williams. Let me get my screen all situated here. Let's start with, oh, my guy, Sean. Love you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Let's start with Trent Williams. First play of the game. What did Trent do the very first play of the game? Let's find out. All right, so we got Trent Williams over here, of course, at left tackle. Per usual. What did Trent do today? Trent just was Trent again. We know who Trent is. We know what Trent's capable of. Trent just did Trent things all day. Let's watch it here. First play of the game. What did Trent give us? Thank you, Trent. Oh man, Trent makes watching film so much fun. He makes my life so enjoyable. Just like to watch this guy do these things at his size, unbelievable. And we're gonna tie it up all with a bow at the end because it made me really, really happy. Something that one of his other guys did that I was really excited about, but we're getting to that at the end um, because it's a lot of fun to see. But this is what we've been calling. It's kind of a club snatch. So I've been talking with Brandon Thorne, O line expert. He's really good. I mean, this is what he does for 10 years now, breaking down offensive line. There is a move. If you guys want to go look at the snatch and trap. Type it in on YouTube. Snatch and trap by Tyrone. Is it Tyrone Williams? No, Tyrone Smith. Left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. He had really had a strong year in 2016 with the snatch and trap technique. It's simply just using defenders' leverage against them. But this is a variation of that. It's not the same. It's different. And what makes it different is that rather than just a typical snatch, which is just trying to pull them down, kind of, you get a club. And it's with his left hand. And we'll see another instances where he does the same left-handed club when he's the backside tackle on run plays. So this is the trend that I've been able to identify. This particular technique, you see the left-handed club, watch the club, there's the club. Watch the defenders leverage as a result. Defenders screwed. That club comes in, watch. Boom. Boom. Club hits, right? Grabs the back and just completely owns and just throws into the dirt. No problem. No problem. It's so easy. Like, it should not be this easy. Number 94 is an NFL starting defensive end or big end, if you want to call him that. You got the Leo over here. He's a big end. He's a big guy. He's supposed to be big. He's not supposed to get pushed around like that. That's not your job, 94. But again, you're going up against a guy and the master of manipulation, Trent Williams. Boom. That's D-line move. Love this. Absolutely love this. Someone asked, To asked, how do you as a defender stop this? Right? How do you stop this as a defender? It's really hard. It's really hard because again, we talk about it all the time. You see the hands. This defense, the goal of the defensive lineman is to engage with the offensive lineman. All the moves, everything that comes from a defensive lineman, it all starts at the point of attack. And the point of attack is when you make contact. And so when you make contact, there's a reason why he is shooting for the chest plate of Trent Williams because he's either going to be able to grab it, use his basically Trent's leverage against Trent, slingshot him for a little rip, a swim, all different kinds of things. So the defender needs the leverage, but unfortunately, that's what Trent Williams has mastered. He has mastered he's a master of manipulation. You can't use his leverage against him. In fact, he's going to use it against you. And so as a result, you see how violent this is, man. You see how violent this is. It's set up so nicely. And again, the trend is he does this when he is the backside tackle on plays running away from him. So you only get this technique when it is a basically run to the right, whether zone right, pitch right, whatever. Doesn't matter. This is where you get this technique. And I haven't seen him do it on runs to the right because there's much different things that occur for him and his responsibility. So it's perfect. It's perfect for the backside tackle who, if a guy's going to cross your face like this, what do? You got to take him. So just chop him and throw him. It's absolutely next level. It's absolutely next level. It's first play of the game. First play of the game. So you knew you knew it was going to be a good day in the office for Trent Williams. He was in his bag right off the jump. Let's see. This is one of my favorite plays because again, it also just shows the dog, right? How many times Have you guys heard a football player, a coach, anyone just reference, oh, he's a dog. That guy's a dog, right? Oh, he's a dog. He's just a dog. He's got the dog in him. Oh, we want dogs out there with us. When the fight gets going tough, we want dogs with us. You hear that all the time in football. This is what that is. Watch Trent Williams. This is what that means. And it's DAWG, not DOG. DAWG, a dog. That's what Trent Williams is. Watch. He's never satisfied. Never satisfied. Throws this dude out the club into the opposing practice squad players, just trying to enjoy the game. Like, hey, bro, I'm just trying to watch the game over here. You pushing me? What the hell? I'm not trying to get hurt on my day off. What are we doing? But look at this savage. Like this is dog. When you hear about dog mentality, when you hear about that in the reference in the NFL, that's what this is. The shove. Watch, he doesn't have to do this. Again, Trent Williams does not have to do this. Right here, plays shut down. But look at Trent. Shove, stare down. That's a dog. Would you want to go up against that guy on that next play? What is going through your head, number 51, when you're just trying to flow over the top, and Trent Williams is ragdolling you, man, and just set. That's a message sent with the follow through stare. I mean, come on, guys. I freaking love this guy. He's so much fun to watch. Oh my gosh, I love it. I absolutely love watching Trent Williams. What do we got here? I want to show this clip. This clip is more representative of Jeff Wilson and some of the things that I really like from Jeff Wilson. I liked what I saw from Jeff Wilson. If Elijah Mitchell is going to be on a potential snap count, because of the broken finger, obviously didn't practice today, that just came out. If Jeff Wilson's going to have to step in, these are the reasons why I'm kind of excited for that. Don't get me wrong, Elijah Mitchell has been fantastic as a rookie, but he can still get better. And one of the things that he can still get better at is vision. Just these small nuances here to be able to understand the flow of your offensive lineman, to be able to understand how your cutbacks work against the flow of the offensive lineman. Again, it's so subtle, but that ability, again, because he's kind of looking here. He's got a defender in his face. He knows right away, based on this alignment, he's got to cut it back. So he's got to immediately identify the flow of the right side of the offensive line, and instantly sticks his foot in the hole and comes right off Jalen's hip. I love it. He did this multiple times where he really had nothing. He really had nothing right off the jump, and he made something out of it. Again, look at this right here. There's really nothing. You got everyone flowing to the right. You got 94, right there in the gap, essentially ready to make a play. You have other guys over here. There's not a lot going on. And again, it's the simple vision. That's it, bro. My notes, buttery. To me, this is buttery. This is silky smooth. These are the kind of running backs that I love blocking for, because they know how to read your blocks, they know how to read your angle, and they know how to read the flow of the defense, which is a crucial element to being successful in the run game. Again, this play probably should have gone for very minimal yardage, but the simple cut, the vision to then be able to cut it right off his hip is beautiful. Get what you can get. Absolutely love it. Small tangent on Jeff Wilson, because we were right next to it. Wanted to show it. It's small, very small nuance, but I really liked it. And I really think if he's going to have to play more, I think it's going to be nice. I think it's going to be really, really nice. All right, so we got a pretty Trent Williams pass block here. We got a big play to Kittle. We got Jalen Moore blocking AD on this play. So let's take a look at what we got here on this play. So I'm going to be watching both these two guys. Obviously, we get out to Kittle. Good to have Kittle back, guys. Really, really good. What's good, Don? What's good, my guy? We see you. Let's go. Happy Wednesday, my boy. Sourdough Squad in the building. Let's go. We see you. But let's run this back. Sorry, I got distracted. So we're going to focus on both the pass sets here by our bookend tackles. Trent Williams, it's so good it doesn't look like he's doing anything. That's how good Trent Williams is. He's so good. This is Von Miller. Second week in the system. Again, he can rush the passer. It doesn't matter. Just watch the footwork. Watch the feet. If you play offensive line and you just need inspiration, watch Trent Williams. This dude's feet are next level. Just the way he gets to his spot and glides in this low pad level position. And Von Miller, like number 40, looks weird to me. Number 40 looks like a dude, just a guy. Like Trent Williams makes Von Miller look like just a regular dude on multiple occasions. Not only that, you have these two guys working in tandem. Brunskill right there in position, gets Aaron Donald flowing over the top. Jalen Moore right there to pick it up. Even got their feet a little mixed up, but they were able to get through that. You got 91 get a nice move here. That's a win for 91. You know, great job by Lincoln to recover and just put all his weight into him to try to squeeze him as much as possible. You get Alex Mack trying to peel back here to help because obviously he feels the pressure. So he kind of spins the opposite way, but it worked. It was enough. Good job by Jimmy. Get the ball out. And they knew they had to get the ball out. So again, it's not anything crazy. It's just clean. Again, you have Juice coming up, acting as an offensive lineman. Essentially, this is blitz pickup. So this is why Juice is in these particular situations, because blitz pickup is really hard, and you need backs who you can count on and rely on to pick up guys and neutralize them. So this is a great job by everyone up front. Really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. All right, let's stick with Trent though. We'll get to Trent and then we'll come back on some other ones because there's some good ones by a lot of people on here. But let's get through some Trent stuff. Look at Trent just being a dog. Again, this play is designed to run right off his ass. This play is designed to come hit quick. Boom. That's why he's turning like this. That's why he's doing what he's doing. He's creating a natural lane, a natural wall. Elijah Mitchell does a really good job of being able to see it, get under it. This one particularly, I don't fault Brunskill here because if you look closely, Brunskill gets caught up in this wash trying to like take over this block. You can see Brunskill doesn't have anywhere to go. He can't like be invisible and transport through these people. So unfortunately, it kind of worked to 91's benefit. But it's not a fault to Brunskill. Brunskill, there's nothing you can do about that. You can't run through this defender to be able to get the leverage that you need to try and reach block this. 91 just got really lucky to flow over the top like this, to be honest. But pretty good blocking from everyone else. So this concept, you've seen it run a lot with two tight ends. How this has evolved over the last couple weeks is you see guys like Trent Sherfield being this lead blocker type role. Again, the concept is very easy and simple of what they're doing. I've really figured it out. All it is you're taking the double to backer concept of the offensive line, and you're just essentially using this edge blocker and the puller to be the same concept. It's a double to backer or double to safety or double to corner. Essentially, tight end is going to block out. The puller is going to come chip, and then typically if the defender is flowing over the top, you let him go. Doesn't matter. What he needs to be there for is if he goes underneath like this. So obviously it's an interesting play to run with a wide receiver in Trent Sherfield. I know Trent Sherfield's a good blocker, but they're not these wide receivers aren't executing double to backer blocking concepts in practice. Like this is individual stuff for O linemen. You practice this every day. You practice this concept. You practice these double to backer concepts because that's just part of the game for you as an offensive lineman. But to ask that from guys like a wide receiver, you get this. You get them kind of missing this block. Because if you imagine how it should be blocked, Trent gets here, Brunskill can get the leverage, and then imagine these two guys are blocked. It's Elijah Mitchell and a safety in the hole. That's what you want. And then you believe that a guy like Elijah Mitchell, with the guy this much distance, he can make him miss. But again, just wasn't quite there in regards to the blocking from everyone. However, Trent Williams did a phenomenal job of setting the edge here. It's really nice though. Really nice though. It's close, man. You can see how close these plays are to popping. Like again, block here. You got one-on-one with Elijah Mitchell and Taylor Rapp. I like that. It's just, we know why it happened. Let's see. Okay, so I wanted to show this. This is a Trent Williams, teach tape appreciation. Oh, before we do that though, this is the use check pancake. Look at that. Ooh, let's go, Juice. Love Juice. Such a willing blocker. Look at that. Look at it. Beautiful. And again, remember the concept that we talked about before? Okay, well, they don't have a tight end over here. The tight end's over here, but you still have the same motion. You pull him and you get him. These two guys are responsible for these two guys. So remember we talked about inside guy, last guy in the hole has to be responsible for the inside guy. First guy to arrive is responsible for the kick out. That's how it works. But great finish by Juice. Woo! Great finish. Great finish. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Let's see. What else do we want to... There's so much fun stuff to look at. But like I said, I did want to show a rare Trent loss, and I want to show you why he lost. It's all technique. It's not ability. So Trent actually right here is a really big reason why this play isn't successful. And so it's rare. It's in my notes. Rare Trent Williams mistake. Trent Williams is one of the cleanest offensive linemen I've ever had the pleasure of putting my eyes on. And you don't typically see him make these types of mistakes. Again, we talk about the double to backer concept. In the zone scheme, it's almost every play you're doing that. Almost. At least on one portion of the line. And so you can see right here, you have the run coming right off Trent's butt. But what Trent does, watch his eyes. Where does his eyes go? He buries his eyes. One thing that you're taught as an offensive lineman, see the head duck and go under, especially in a zone scheme, especially with a concept where one of these guys potentially has to peel off for the linebacker. You don't duck your head. And I'm surprised to see Trent do this. Again, it's a really small thing, but it's the difference in this play being a really big gain and it going for no gain. And you'll see why. Because look at 50. 50 makes a tackle, but look at Trent's reaction. Oh, oh crap. You see how he whipped his head around like that? You see this? You see he whips his head around because look at Lincoln. Lincoln's trying to fight back to get because you got to get the linebacker. Someone's got to peel. So in Trent's mind, I understand what he's doing. He's crash down, crash down, crash down. He thinks that Lakin's going to get a free release out to the backer. He doesn't. So typically, that's why you want to keep your head up. See how Lincoln has his eyes up, still punching towards the middle. I think Lincoln's doing a good job here. Eyes up on the backer. This is where Trent makes the mistake. He buries the head. He doesn't keep his outside hand free because that's how you work a double to backer concept. So that when this occurs, this Trent Williams' eyes should be right here. Trent Williams should not give 2 cares in the world about number 94. It's a double team. So you feel so confident when you're doubling like this. You don't need to look at your guy. Look at Lincoln. He's not looking. They're looking at the linebacker, and you have to be able to read that. So unfortunately, Trent ducks the head, and as a result, he misses the linebacker flow over the top, when in reality, it should have been a quick switch. Lakin, he kind of dishes 94 over to Lakin and then just peels off and gets a hat on 50. If you wall that off right here, like say his eyes are up, and right when you get this movement from the linebacker, you get a peel from Trent. Look at the gap. Look at the hole. Like, just imagine, right? Just imagine in a world, right? In a perfect world, where'd it go? Trent gets this block. If Trent gets that block, this is a big gain. It's a big gain because this guy should theoretically be walled off at that point. You get a great block by Juice, does his job. Who do we got over here? Is that Kittle? Kittle neutralizes Von Miller. You got Sherfield dancing, looking for somebody. But again, you get that one block away. It's one-on-one with number 4 with lots of room to work. So this is the difference between a lot of the plays working this year and them not. It's just one block. You can see this gain. This goes from no gain to being potentially a huge gain. So those simple things, again, I just wanted to show. We're here to talk about the positives, clearly. But a rare Trent Williams mistake. Just wanted to talk about it. We don't ever talk about plays where Trent is doing something fantastic. Let's see, what's this one? And it gets really fun with Trent. Like, Trent just kept building. There's a sequence at the end of the game where I think it was like 3 or 4 highlight style plays from Trent Williams, and it's a great way to end the film breakdown because the way he just stacks everything and builds everything together, it's really beautiful. This was one where, again, love the vision by Jeff Wilson here. The vision, the ability to cut on a dime, set up your blockers, beautiful. Because what Trent is trying to do, he's trying to reach block. He's trying to reach block here. Now, this is like, look, you see it's a pitch, but it's an inside run. Remember what we talked about earlier on outside runs to the right? This is typically when you see Trent Williams do his chop kind of club move, but it's a different concept. It's actually an inside run set up to look as if it's a pitch. This is actually really pretty play design. Again, based on what they've already shown. This looks like a pitch. It is a pitch. Jimmy pitches the ball, but it's an inside run. I've never seen anything like that before. Again, people want to come after Kyle Shanahan and his play calling ability and his play design ability, but this is some of the stuff that you just really look at and you're like, dude, this guy's next level. This is next level. Again, a pitch inside run, because the whole point is to make it look like an outside run, but it's really inside run. Again, it's how Kyle continues to just make things so hard for defenses. But again, I really wanted to highlight not only did Trent, kind of get out of his skis a little bit, but he knew this. He knows the assignment. It's coming right off his butt. So he's got to get the leverage and create a wall. You see exactly what he does. Got to create the wall. This is why it's so nice having Jeff Wilson in. Jeff Wilson created this play. So again, this isn't to kind of come down Elijah Mitchell's road. Elijah Mitchell's been fantastic, but there have been a lot of instances, whether it's Elijah Mitchell or Trey Sermon, where they just run into 94 here. It's just kind of like, oh, there's a guy here, plow down and just try and churn out as many yards as they can. This is one of the things that I really like from Jeff Wilson. Again, you make your guys look really nice. You make your boys look real good up front when you can cut like that. Again, look at this dude. Look where his plant foot is. Look at 94. 94 is like, oh, he's about to run right into me. Boom. Plants, gets outside, then lowers the shoulder, rocks wrap. Boom. I like it, guys. I like it. I think my comments are broken again. I'm not showing a new comment in almost 10 minutes. So hopefully you guys are enjoying and watching. Typically we interact with the comments, but this is the second show in a row where our comments are not working and have seemingly stopped halfway through. So I apologize about that. Typically love to hear your comments and feedback on everything. Except one just came through, maybe not, or maybe no one's just commenting. That's my bad. But yes, hit the likes while you're at it. I see the people in here. Sorry. I get zoned out, obviously, when breaking down the tape. So I guess my chat is working. I lied. False alarm. False alarm. All good. Hey, while you're here, like the video. Let's do it. I appreciate you guys. But again, this is how you make an offensive lineman look a lot better. This is how you help. This is how you help as a running back. So I think, again, if this is Jeff Wilson's first real action back, I think, and this is what Jeff Wilson ran into. This is what Jeff Wilson ran into. He didn't get a lot of clean holes. He didn't get a lot of opportunity, yet he was still able to manufacture 28 rushing yards off nothing. This is nothing, again. But he's able to do it. Really, really like it. I like it, man. Let's see. Let's stay on script. We're gonna stick with Trent. So now I'm gonna just go to the portion, the last segment the last sequence that I was telling you about, where Trent Williams just went crazy for a couple plays in a row. It was a lot of fun. I love the way everything added up. I love the way it ended. There's going to be a sequence of like 6 or 7 plays where Trent Williams just does Trent Williams things. Here you go. Again, the master of leverage. This time, rather than hitting the club or the rip right away, he actually puts hands on him first. I appreciate that, CV. Really do. Really, really do. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. All right, let's watch Trent. So Trent, we know the book on Trent. Typically, and this is again the master of manipulation. We've looked on tape time and time again. What does he do in this situation when they're trying to do kind of the forklift strong arm? Again, they're trying to gain leverage, right? What he has done in the past is he'll club right away. So he won't let this contact occur. He'll just instantly club it. This time, it's a variation. So this time, it just looks like he's doing a regular pass set. There's no double pass set with the footwork. Footwork's clean. Typical hands, but there it is. There it is. He said, nope, gotcha. And then swipe. Dude, this dude can this dude is a D lineman playing in an offensive lineman's body. This is a defensive lineman playing offensive line, guys. And this is why I always urge defensive linemen, hey, you guys should come play offensive line. Have you guys ever thought about playing offensive line? Hey, you're kind of a middling defensive tackle. You want to come play guard? I think you might have a better shot of better success with that athletic skill type that makes you kind of average as a defender, but would make you kind of above average as a guard. Why don't you switch on over? I'm big on trying to convert defensive linemen to be offensive linemen. One guy that I really wanted that to happen is hilarious because he's on our team. I used to be so into watching Cal football that I used to know who they were recruiting, who they were trying to recruit, all that stuff. Eric Armstead was a big time recruit out of Sacramento, uh, and we were recruiting him as a left tackle. Unfortunately, Eric Armstead went to Oregon to play D tackle. I always thought it was a big mistake. Clearly, I mean, I knew he was going to go to the NFL, which either position he played, but I really felt like Eric Armstead would have been probably the best tackle in the NFL up here with Trent Williams for the same reasons why Trent Williams is the best tackle. We know Eric Armstead, he's huge, he's massive, but he moves really well. He's got good hands and good feet. I always thought he would be the perfect left tackle. But we'll live with them on the defensive side for now. But these are the reasons why I always like I like the defensive guys playing O line is because there's a different like nastiness to them. There's a different type of grittiness. They're used to hand fighting. They're used to clubs. They're used to swipes. They're used to the hand fight game. So it's like they're countering it. They're taking the hand fighting to the D line. And what 52 has no shot. You see what he's trying to create leverage. You see the angle. This is by design. This is how defensive linemen create leverage. That is a leverage move. There's a reason he's at an angle like that. And so Trent is so smart. He knows that it's coming. He knows that it's coming. So what does he do? The second the defender tries to go for the leverage move, he just breaks the arm and the guy goes falling as a result. Absolutely beautiful. This very next play. You got a snatch technique. Oh wait. Wasn't a snatch technique. I lied. Am I on the right one? This was the snatch technique. Tripping. This is the snatch technique that I was talking about earlier. This is more typical of the snatch technique for offensive linemen. Again, it's more of like a rip and they just go down. It's manipulating leverage. What Trent does differently here is he has added a double pass set to it, which makes it unique. He doesn't do it here, however, but that's the snatch move that we've seen before. This play, too, was also a good play, just based on collapsing the side of the line and then just walling off the defender. That's a good block. That's a good block. It's not, pretty. It's not a pancake or anything like that in that regard, but that's a beautiful block. And look at Elijah just squeeze. Look at the squeeze by that. Really like that. So this is I get it. I'll tell you why this one didn't work out here. At the risk of going off on a tangent, we talk about pulling responsibilities all the time on this channel. We talk about, and it's the same. Doesn't matter if you're tight end, fullback, running back, wide receiver, offensive lineman. If you pull, there's two things that you can do. You either kick out or you roll it. When you kind of go heads up and go down, it's essentially a kick out because as you see, the running back has to read his blocks, right? I talk about a lot of how Jeff Wilson is doing a fantastic job reading his blocks. Well, this tells Elijah run on the inside of Kittle, because a kick out, when you kick out, you run inside. When you roll a block, like let's say, for example, this is how it should have. This is how I was coached. This is how I would coach it. And to me, this is why I think this play, like why Juice wasn't able to get this block. Because if Kittle gets his head on the left side, see how he gets it on the right? If he gets his head on the left side, you already have the natural momentum of Juice coming around. And that's what we call a roll block, and why you want to roll it, because you have the defender crashing hard down the line of scrimmage. The rule is you roll that. When they crash hard down the line of scrimmage and you're pulling, you roll it. The point of the roll is you get your head on the outside shoulder, you roll your hips around, and the running back follows. That's how you read a block as a running back. Obviously, he reads it as a kick out, so he goes straight. That means that Juszczyk is out of position, can't get his block, and then it's still a nice gain, but it could have been a lot nicer. Um, so small things, really small. Trent did a good job. Trent did a phenomenal job as always. Let's see, 28-52. Oh, this is another reason why I like the sequence. 28-52. 28-52. Trent got tossed a little bit. So again, rare to see this occur to Trent Williams, but I just want to show it because he's human. And again, what's occurring? I thought it's a sequence. These all these plays are in succession. And so he's been going to work. And so what he's trying to do here, he's trying to push hard, because again, when the play is running off your hip, you got to block differently. So he's really trying to slam 94 down. But as you can see, 94, being a defensive lineman that he is, feels that pressure and then is able to use the momentum against Trent, which Trent does all the time to other people, and is able to make a play. That's okay. That happens. It happens to the best players in the world, man. It happens to the best players in the world. But then I believe this play, it's a non-play, but it comes back to, again, the conversation about Trent Williams being a dog. And I want to showcase to you why Trent Williams is a dog. It's very tiny, very small nuance. Here's Trent. Very tiny, but do me a favor. This is a flag. So about right here, you see the flag go up, whistle's blown. Watch everyone's reaction across the offensive line, tight ends, fullbacks. Oh, okay, what's Juice doing? They're just like, okay, we're done. Okay, what's Kittle doing? Oh, whistle's blown. All right, we're done. What's Compton doing? Oh, whistle's blown. All right, we're done. What's Brunskill doing? Oh, it's done. A little pat on the back. Oh, Aaron Donald and him just kind of talking, shooting the shit. Oh, what's going on? Oh, just kind of talking. Oh, what's Trent doing? Oh, I'm sorry, Donald's over here. Trent's shoving Donald for no reason. And I love it. Dog, get out of here. The whistle's blown, guys. The whistle's blown. Everyone's stopped. Everyone's like, oh, whistle's dead. Trent Williams, extra shove. Did not need it. Not at all. But he did it. And he did it to Aaron Donald. And I love it. I love what it represents. I love, like, it doesn't look like a lot. It doesn't look, this doesn't, like, what is this? It doesn't look like a lot, but I know what that is. I know what it's like to play with those types of guys. And those types of guys are fun to play with. It's just that dog mentality. That's Aaron Donald, right? He's not afraid. Well, screw you. I'm the best tackle in the game. You think you're the best defensive lineman ever to play? It doesn't matter to me. You get a shove. I just love it. I love it. And then comes back the very next play with arguably the best play of the game. Um, not this one. This next one. I think it was the 3rd and 6, 30-10. Yeah, I think it's this one. And then again, the club the club rip. Oh my gosh, it's so easy for him. It's so damn easy for him, guys. It's not fair. It's really not fair. Let's watch it again from a different angle. Again, on runs away, when he's the backside tackle, we talked about the trend. This one was actually an inside run, and he still did it. So this is the trend though. When he's backside tackle, he'll bust out the club rip for the offensive lineman. Again, he did it on the first play of the game. Remember, here he is again. They just can't do anything about it. They can't. Just taking hands away. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I hope this stuff can be incorporated. I really can, by other guys. And we're gonna see an example here in a second that made me very, very happy. But again, let's enjoy what Trent does here. Again, it's the same so far. It's the same setup. Again, identify the trends. The trend is on runs away where he's backside tackle. That's when he uses the club snatch move that you see right here. So it's not every time. You got to pick and choose sometimes when you use certain moves. But when they're not ready for it, you just send in this dude flying. It's unbelievable how easy that is. Like, it shouldn't be that easy. It should never be that easy. But it's that easy for Trent Williams because he's a master of manipulation, and it's really beautiful. This one, let's focus on Daniel Brunskill really quick before we wrap up our kind of Trent Williams segment. I did a lot of focus on Trent Williams. This play doesn't happen without Daniel Brunskill blocking one-on-one with Aaron Donald. Now, we've talked on this channel about Daniel Brunskill time and time and time again. And what do we always talk about? We always talk about when Daniel Brunskill is in one-on-one pass blocking situations with defensive tackles, he's going to give up ground. Do we not? I mean, I know we got some return viewers in here, but what we always talk about is Dan is going to give up that ground. But what Dan is good at and continues to do time and time again is he knows how to anchor. Now, he gives up more depth than you really want to, but that comes with who Dan is. And again, I have to remind people he's one of the lowest paid players on the entire team, and he's a starter going up against Aaron Donald on prime time. And again, people look at this, they see that depth given up, and they're like, "Oh, he's getting worked, he's getting pushed back." Like, no, this is part of Dan's technique. Just like we talk about, like with Trent Williams, and he's got this double pass set technique, and how he helps kind of gain leverage. This is how he gains leverage. He's obviously trying to keep the pocket at a certain depth, but once contact's created, what he's working on is getting his hips back and anchoring, and then planting, which is just enough. You see how that affected Aaron Donald's path. Aaron Donald, like, I know, to kind of just like looking at it, oh, it was pretty damn close, but this is what he does all the time. That's the move. And your quarterback, that's what you need to know, your personnel. You need to know who's on your team. Daniel Brunskill isn't a brick wall at the line of scrimmage. He will give a couple yards, but what Daniel always does with consistency is anchor. And that is enough leverage that when you throw with timing, anticipation, I mean, also one of the best throws from Jimmy Garoppolo today, or of this game. Absolutely. Watch this throw. Just threaded it on the money. It was beautiful. Jimmy was in his bag. A lot of guys were in their bag against the Rams. Jimmy was one of them. Jimmy had a few outliers, just like anyone does. Let's be honest. No one's perfect, but the consistent body of work from Jimmy Garoppolo was really nice. Also, that's a win. This is a win. This play, I believe, Jimmy Garoppolo shouted out specifically in his press conference today about Daniel Brunskill, this particular play, saying that because these guys know, football guys know, when you're one-on-one as an offensive lineman, you're at a bit of a disadvantage because you're moving backwards. We know how it works. That's why offensive linemen work as units and they work in tandem. They work together across the line of scrimmage. But clearly, this defense wanted them to be manned up on this side. You can see that was the goal. They wanted this. They want Aaron Donald manned up on guards. That's how you win. That's how he gets all his production. So the fact that Brunskill was able to do his job in a big time moment that led to the nail in the coffin is absolutely great. And now I want to show you what brought a tear to my eye. Almost brought a tear to my eye. It made me really happy to see, like, more happy than it should make anyone. But for whatever reason, I'm a football nerd and I just love football and I love these small things about football. Um, Watch Lincoln, man. Watch Lincoln. What if you've been sitting through all the Trent Williams technique talk and how he goes about winning and why he wins and how he wins? Watch Lincoln. Look at Lincoln. Go, my dog. Dude, I got so freaking hyped watching Lakin bust out a Trent Williams move. Watch the move. Watch the move. Go down. Let's go. Smack that shoulder. Look at this is why when people like I get it. Like Trent Williams is a unicorn. No one else is like Trent Williams. Trent Williams does these things because he's Trent Williams. Look at him. He's a freak. Trent Williams doesn't care. You don't ever look back at the ball carrier to see where he is, but Trent Williams is in full control. Trent Williams is a freak. That's why we break down only Trent Williams. Like honestly, that's why he gets full film breakdowns is because there's no one like him and we're watching craziness. But what I love the most is that Lincoln is picking up on some of the technique. And what the technique is, this is a reach block. So how you got to do this when you're reaching, especially when you have a big time outside shade, you see the hat movement. That this hat needs to end up on this shoulder. Once that hat gets on that shoulder, those hips need to whip around. That's how you reach. That's how you reach block. But he's not interested in reach blocking because he's doing the Trent Williams technique. Watch the hand. See that? You see it. This little grab. He grabs down. See down. The shoulder dips. Watch the other hand. He does it again 2 times. 2 times from Lincoln Tomlinson. This is 100% a direct correlation of playing with Trent Williams. 100%. This is the first time I've ever seen anyone else on this offensive line. Again, Trent Williams is playing at a level like I've never personally seen, especially with stuff like this in the run game. But this is how, as an offensive lineman, this is how you take it back to the defense because the defense is at an advantage in regards to skill set, the types of guys that play on the defensive line. They're typically better athletes. They're reacting to things, so they're not like they're just moving, and they got a bag of hand moves, and they just kind of go. Offensive linemen have to be very methodical. They have to be very specific. They have to aim for blocking points, footwork. Like it's got to be in sync. There's a reason they all do the same thing. So the fact that offensive linemen can incorporate some of these moves into their bag, and you're seeing how something that only we're seeing Trent Williams do is translating to a guy like Lincoln Tomlinson. Now it's not as pretty. Like, right? It's not as pretty. I mean, he gets kind of rolled up here on this block by 45. It could have been a little prettier if he didn't. Again, great block by Ayuk here. Um, but these are the things when people say, "Oh, it's just Trent being Trent. It doesn't translate." This is how you translate it. Anyone can do this. Any offensive lineman can do this and attack the inside shoulder and throw it down and change momentum and change leverage. Honestly, if coaches can just study Trent Williams, everything he does. Now, again, there's no one else that can just be a freak like Trent Williams. However, you can take the philosophical concepts that Trent Williams uses of manipulation, hand play, all that kind of stuff that offensive linemen don't touch. That's D lineman stuff. If you can incorporate these concepts, anyone can do that. Again, it's just being on the mindset and the wavelength to be able to manage and obstruct the leverage of the defender. Now, if you come up with the technique to do that, that's a whole nother story. And any good coach can coach technique. That's the thing. That's what I don't buy. That like you can coach clubbing. You can coach that from anyone. Again, especially if you're using their leverage against them. So I love it. I love that this is like the last play of the game, and Trent and Lakin pulls out a Trent Williams move. I thought it was so poetic. I thought it was beautiful. Again, I'm being told that only Trent Williams can do this stuff, and I at one point I understand, but I also think the philosophies that he's using can be adjusted to fit the everyday type of offensive lineman. Just like that. Again, look at how easy he got him on the ground. You're really not when you're reach blocking. Reach blocking is about leverage. It's about footwork. It's about moving your hips. It's not about driving guys onto the ground. But again, it's using leverage against them, gets them on the ground easily. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Um, so I'll take requests at this time. If you guys have any requests of plays that I maybe have that you want to see, I could pull those up, or any kind of player that you want to see, at least on the offensive side. Um, let's see what else we got. Let's watch the Kittle pancake. Might as well, right? Might as well. Oh yeah. Again, we talked about this concept before. I believe it's called Zorro. I believe so. Like if they were to call this play um in the huddle, and as an offensive lineman, you when they say the play in the huddle, it's a million different words, right? But each word or segment of words is broken up for each position group. So like this play could be 19 Zorro, X scat, Y cross, whatever. Like they could go, like literally go on for a paragraph about the play call. So this right here would be called 19 Zorro. Right then and there, as an offensive lineman, my ears shut off. I don't need to hear about anything else other than the snap count. I want to hear my responsibility. They would call this in the huddle 19 Zorro. And so this is the action that we keep seeing. This is definitely something that I don't recall from last year being used like they use it. Like this is a base play at this point. This Zorro concept, where they're pulling either fullback, tight end, wide receiver, but the concept is a cross play, right? You're pulling them across, and then it's a double to secondary concept, right? Again, what we talked about. Um, and this is what they're supposed to do. You get the little push from Juice, and then he's off to the races. Again, if this guy was down here flowing over the top, he would take him. If he was rolling up over here, going here, you'd actually just let him go because Elijah Mitchell would cut under. But oh, he got caught from behind. Number 51. Uh, we broke down this play before. Hey, shout out Dan. Look at the effort from Dan, bro. Look at the effort from Dan. I love this. Look at the effort. That's effort. I don't care what you say. That's effort. I love it, bro. He tried to get a piece. He tried to get a piece as much as he could. If he was just one step sooner, he might have got that hand in the back hip and threw him into to Lincoln. But this is a hard ass block, bro. This is super hard. Because again, you can see linebackers keying on juice, so he's already flowing. He's already on his track. If 51 stationary in this instance and not moving, Brunskill gets there. But again, he gets a head start because he's keying on juice pull. Juice pulls. It's just a little too like that. You just can't. That's not Brunskill's fault. It's 51. Being heads up, understanding what's coming his way, and getting there. So, but I love the effort. The effort you have to give credit for the effort. The effort's there, but the pancake is what's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. And again, this is the concept, the Zorro concept. 19 Zorro. 19 indicates left. 18 indicates right. 19 is outside hole. So typically, when they've been calling inside zones, they would indicate left with 14 and right. I'm sorry, mixed up. Left with 13 and right with 14. So all odd numbers indicate run to the left. Even numbers indicate run to the right. Depending on like if it's a 3 or 4 that's inside, 8 or 9 outside, if that makes sense. Let's see. What else do we want to watch? Oh, I wanted to talk about the one of the things that Mack brings is, and I think Jimmy Garoppolo is so I know why Jimmy Garoppolo is so successful at quarterback sneaks is because of this man. I've never seen this technique. This is Alex Mack, or at least based on what I've studied from Alex Mack. I'm sure it exists prior to Alex, but it's something that I picked up on because I had never seen it before. But he does a torpedo. See how he torpedoes, and he's done this in every single one of these. Even if he's had a defender more head up on him, he torpedoes. He basically just drops his head and just creates like this downward angle, which then you have both of the guards completely trying to smash down off his hip. So it creates like this little wedge. It's like a little triangular wedge. Um, it works great. And got to give credit to Alex, man, because I think that came with him. I think this is his technique. And he brought this with him from Atlanta. And it's been really helpful in getting these plays where, sometimes you just need it. You need a yard. Sometimes you just need a yard. But like it so far. Oh, how could I not show this clip? I probably should have started with this clip, but it is what it is. If you guys have stayed and you have made it all the way through me just rambling about football, you get to watch it. So good for you. It's good for you. It's probably my favorite play of the game, as long as it's queued up properly. I love this play. You'll see why in a second. Did you see why? Bodies on the floor everywhere. Let's start with Trent. Trent is such a dog. Like, again, look at, like, what the hell? Like, he's setting this up. Like, see where he grabs the body, he gets his hips into position and then just jackknifes him. Just absolute ownage. Love that. What else do I love? I also love Alex Mack, 93, one-on-one, right his ass out. Put him on the ground, Alex. Love that. What else do I love? I also love Lincoln Tomlinson. What's up, Lake? Pop, you're on the ground. And then my favorite, look at Brunskill. Just get out of here, Aaron. Sorry, son. I'm sorry, my son. I'm sorry to do this to you, son, but you've been a bad boy. Go on timeout. Oh God, I should have started with this play, but this play is one of the best of the year. It really is. Across the board. Look at the blocking. Everyone, guys on the ground. Uh, you have Jeff Wilson running that same Zorro concept. This time he's the lead blocker. Okay. Well, you know, they take care of business one-on-one in the hole with Debo Samuel with number 11. We'll take that action. We'll take that action all day. This is beautiful. Juwan Jennings. Great job, Juwan. I didn't even see Juwan. I didn't even see Juwan, man. I didn't even see Juwan. Look at Juwan. Let's go. That's a mini pancake. You know, like those. That's like a mini pancake, like the ones that you get you put them in the toaster or in the microwave. It's like a frozen mini pancake. You know, it's not quite the real thing, but it's almost. It's almost. Look at Juwan. I didn't even see that. Pop. So like this, you guys know me at this point. This is perfection for me. You know, it's not a big, huge 80-yard touchdown run or nothing like that. But from an offensive lineman perspective, this is as good as it gets. When you got bodies on the ground from pretty much every one of your offensive linemen, again, Jalen Moore's he's backside tackle on a outside run play. This is interesting technique from Jimmy. Yeah, dude, they're cooking it up with this misdirection, the use of these pulling. This is why the tight end has been so crucial to this offense. If you can't block in this scheme as a tight end, this offense does not work. That's why we've missed George Kittle. But what I love is they're changing this person. Typically, it's been Dwelly or Warner in the past. Now we've seen Trent Sherfield. We've seen Jeff Wilson. We're seeing all different kinds of guys in that kind of role, which again is going to only be able to take this concept to the next level. Like, so it's going to be interesting to see, man. Kyle's on to something. And if we can keep working this concept to his benefit and you're getting execution from your guys up front, this is how they continue the success. We talk about can they take this over into the Jags? Can they keep this going? I see a baseline concept where it's built off the backbone, of course, of zone. This is zone footwork all up front. Everything is off the groundwork of zone. So everything looks the same. That's what's the beauty of this scheme. And Kyle's been in his bag. 100%. Kyle's been in his bag. Absolutely. I know exactly what play you're talking about. Loanword said, I love the blocking in this game, but my favorite play was the tackle by DJ Jones on the fake punt, which was a great play. He also dropped back in coverage and read the play. One of the best football plays I've ever seen. I agree. I don't have the defense queued up right now, but I know exactly what play you're talking about. And that's one of the reasons why I really like DJ Jones and liked him coming out of college. I personally struggled with defensive linemen like DJ Jones. Was one of the big reasons why who Aaron Donald, I know it doesn't seem fathomable now, but a lot of people talked a lot of shit about Aaron Donald during the draft process. You guys know me. If I like a draft prospect and people are going at them just because of stupid perceptions, and of course, Aaron Donald's perception was he's too small. Um, I was a big Aaron Donald defender because I had just happened to come off playing college ball. One of the guys that I played with, who was he was a top 50 U.S. All American defensive tackle from Hawaii. He's a poly boy. Those poly boys, they're built different, and he was a nice 6'2", 300 pounds playing nose tackle. And, like 6'2", 300 at nose tackle, especially like, it doesn't seem like anything crazy. But what made this guy so freaking good was his get off, his hand fighting, and the strength and speed in combination. And so when I saw Aaron Donald, and it's just because this is coming from experience, at least and how I scout. I scout through some of my experiences. Um, Aaron Donald was a guy where I'm like, oh, his size isn't going to be an issue at all. In fact, if you have him on the interior playing against these bigger guards, he's actually going to thrive, because that's why I love when you kick defensive ends down over the guards. Guards are overmatched. Guards get overmatched at that point in regards to the athletic profile. And so if you get a good athletic, strong, again, the best key to beat an offensive lineman is be faster off the snap than he is. Now, obviously, the offensive lineman knows the snap count, but if you're twitched up enough and you are aware enough and you have the speed to back it up and the strength, if you can come off that snap just as fast as the offensive lineman, you have a really good shot of winning. And so that's one of the things that Aaron Donald has been historically good at, but he was good at that back at Pittsburgh. He's been good at that his entire career. So same thing with DJ Jones, though. They're clearly not the same skill set, but kind of same archetype when it comes to smaller interior defensive tackles. But why they're successful because they're strong and they're fast, and they know how to move really well on the interior. So DJ Jones, yeah, it was a great heads up play by him. I love the athleticism that he brings for sure. So I didn't focus too much on Jalen Moore, and I don't want to go down this, crazy tangent on Jalen Moore. But Jalen Moore, I, I would, I don't want to like come down the guy's road, but he struggled. He struggled in the run game, which again has been my scouting report on Jalen Moore since he's coming out. He's really good as a pass blocker. He just is a bit limited as a run blocker. This is what I said to anyone who has ever asked me about Jalen Moore playing right guard over Brunskill due to the perceived miscues Brunskill was having. Everyone was like, oh, well, you can just put Jalen Moore at right guard. And I'm like, no, you can't. And this is the reason why. He's good. Like as a pass blocker, he's like an NFL starting quality pass blocker. That's different than run blocking. It's much different. It's a different world. And here you can see why it's a different world, why guys like Trent Williams are super, super successful, being able to gain the leverage that they need and then wall these guys off. This is, it's not an easy block for Jalen Moore. He does a good job getting to see the head placement. You want to get the head placement. He got the first part of it down. The second part that didn't come were the hips. He's got to bring those hips around. You got to whip those hips around, and you got to be able to create the leverage. You can't just ride him like this. And so that's not a reach. So he lost it when he lost leverage here. He won. That's a win. If I'm an O-line coach, I'm like, buddy, you won. But finish. Get those hips around. You got the quick feet. Swing that gate. Get those hips over. Get your butt in between the defender and this running back and stonewall him. Don't ride him out. So Jalen Moore, again, we can show Jalen Moore in pass protection. Jalen Moore in pass protection against Aaron Donald. I think we looked at this clip before. He's got good feet, man. He's a tailor-made, like, who passes a lot. Like, Jalen Moore would be a prototypical starting tackle in a drop back pass scheme, because he's got great feet and great balance as a pass blocker. You see, he's not phased, and he shows it time and time again. Trent will, but Jalen Moore does show a lot of room for improvement, which is a good thing. He's not a finished product by any means, but there's still time to work, and it's going to be interesting to see who they trot out there on Sunday. I don't think Tom Compton's better. I definitely think Jalen Moore is the better pass blocker. However, he's not quite there in the run game yet. So we'll see. We'll see how he develops. We'll see how he continues to play. But for the most part, the scouting report remains the same on Jalen Moore. Really good pass blocker. He's not a liability as a pass blocker, but in the run game, you have to put an asterisk next to him. He is kind of a liability in the run game, at least as of until now. At least what we saw in this game. But that's why I'm like, no. That's why I've never once said go check my Twitter. And the million times I've been asked, hey, let's move Jalen Moore to left to guard. And I'm like, no. I'm like, no, he's not a guard. He's not a guard at all. He's actually a prototypical tackle in the sense of pass blocking. Again, look at the feet. Here's an example why. Kick step, wide base. Wide base doesn't open the gate right away. Again, you got wide 9 technique out here with 54. 54 is he's out there. So that means Jalen Moore is on an island. And this is what's hard about being a tackle is when you're on an island like this, and right here, this guy can go outside, he can go through you, he can go inside. There's 3 different techniques as the offensive lineman to be able to account for that. So you can get mixed up pretty easily, especially if he sets you up good. But you can see he tries to set up inside move with this little hop skip. But Jalen Moore is in good position, nice balance, good feet. He's even able to recover. And then you get the touchdown from George Kittle. Which great catch by George. Absolutely great catch. Let's go. Good job by Jimmy too. I've been nitpicky at Jimmy and his ball placement. I have, but I like this ball placement. I really do. I like how it looks like it appears to be his. Let's see, probably looking off the safety. Man, he technically could have banged it on Brandon Ayuk. I mean, with this kind of off coverage like that, and if you know he's breaking at about 7 yards, you could theoretically have, like, if you're Jimmy, plant foot, ball's coming out, because you know where he's going to be, you know where the spacing is. So he could have theoretically just drove this thing. You get it to Ayuk, the ball about right here in stride, carries him into the end zone. He's not comfortable with it. That's fine, because he had this wide open. So this must have been this could have been a pre-snap key, something that they looked at. Or no, Kittle spoke about this play. Kittle said, if they give you this look, so again, this actually is probably, now that I'm taking all the information back in, this is probably a design. It's probably designed to have the safety and the linebacker move that direction. It's probably part of the design. And we know defenses are hot and bothered by Jimmy throwing over the middle to short to intermediate. So you know they're probably going to squat on it. So what Kittle talked about on this play, he said is either on the sideline or in practice or something. He said if they come out and they give us this look on this play, it's a touchdown. So that tells me that's what Jimmy's doing. Jimmy that tells me that they knew. Kittle said that he came to the line smiling because it was the look that he wanted. So if it's the look that he wanted, it's the look that Jimmy's seeing. They're on the same page. So I imagine this is actually more of just keeping the safeties at bay and holding them over here to then come back and be able to get that throw. Um, I like it. I don't mind it. Again, 11 kind of comes out of nowhere, but gets Kittle's body turned enough to kind of square up to the ball and high point it, that the defender isn't like hitting him in the ribs necessarily. He's kind of hitting him more in the shoulder. So I like it. Jimmy was in his bag, man. He didn't have he had some miscues, but like that's confident Jimmy. Like this guy. Hey Jimmy, good to see you. Love when confident Jimmy shows up. Love when confident Jimmy shows up. When confident Jimmy shows up, good things happen. Good things happen. Let's see another confident Jimmy. This one is he's confident for a whole different reason. Watch the so I got pocket awareness by Jimmy because I think Compton gets flattened. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at our own players. But this is why. Where'd it go? This is why if Jalen Moore is healthy, this is probably why he starts. Jalen Moore. This has not happened to Jalen Moore in Jalen Moore's career. I'm sorry, Tom. I really don't mean to come down your road. But he got tossed, bro. He got flattened. But the point of it was pocket awareness. Now it turns out to be a sack or whatever. You know, Jimmy doesn't really do anything. But you can tell Jimmy feels it. Like you can tell he felt the pressure, watched him feel it, duck it confidently, feels the pressure, eyes are still downfield, but he feels it. You see that? That's feel. Again, some of the things that we talk about with Jimmy Garoppolo when we see Jimmy kind of unconfident is he just kind of tucks the ball. He doesn't have the awareness. Like this is awareness to be able to duck underneath that. Now, again, Taylor Rapp, just unfortunate positioning because you can see he starts all the way over here. He goes against Juice and he's stopped. So he gets his eyes in the backfield. And so it's an easy flow over. But I still recognize the pocket awareness because this got beat and he had to duck it. That's pocket awareness. Hey, I'll take that from Jimmy all damn day. Now, it didn't result into absolutely anything. But you saw that same vibe kind of stack. You saw that same type of mobility and confidence from Jimmy. And that's what we want to see. Again, as someone who's been ready to move on from Jimmy for his lack of confidence and consistency, this was a play that he actually talked about that he wanted potentially back to get to Trent Sherfield. I like it. And even with this one, I can nitpick this throw. I really could. I can nitpick this throw. He's throwing to, like, I'd rather much see an opportunity for Juwan Jennings to run onto the ball. because it's put on him, it's actually behind him. So it forces to actually make it look like Ramsey made a good play. Um, but I think if you keep Ramsey in this kind of trail technique and you put the ball here, like right here at the number, again, you got all kinds of space. There's no defender. Rather than zipping it on him and ending up being behind, you could throw right, just throw a little over, let your guy run on the ball. Because I think the timing works, but I think the placement could have been better. Put the placement here, let your guy keep his forward momentum and the spacing he's created, and don't give the opportunity back to Ramsey, who's selling out hard to catch up. He's selling out hard to catch up. So keep him in that trail position. Uh, throw it out a little in front. That's it. Just a little bit. Where there's another play where I'm just trying to find it, where Jimmy does a really good job of navigating the pocket and finds a good completion as a result. I don't know if it's this one, but you also got Brunskill and AD one-on-one. I think we talked about this play. I think we did. We might have. I think I did. But again, what I was talking about, pocket awareness, just feeling it, not being scared of it, knowing where his first read, I think, was Kittle. Let's see, watch the eyes. So I don't know if this look back here, hold the safeties right to that side of the field. You come back to try to bang it on Kittle. I don't know if you like the placement here of Taylor. So you just come right back down, accurate throw, hits Jimmy. I'm not as good with the passing concepts, admittedly. Definitely an offensive line guy. But again, I still like this from Dan. This is the best trench player, again, in the world in a one-on-one situation on an island. That's a win. Again, this is what people have been killing Dan for all year. But I think they just don't understand that this is Dan. Like, they don't understand, like, this isn't him losing. Yes, he's losing ground. But again, one thing that I will always point to about Brunskill is he's always keeping his body in between the defender and the quarterback. He might get moved a little bit, but look at how hard he works to keep in front of Aaron. And this little anchor step right here with that helmet coming in, that little push was enough to be able to let Jimmy do a little sidestep, little side throw, little whoop. Again, Jimmy felt it. He's aware of it. Didn't freak out. Was calm. Again, 51's he's draped on juice, but he put it right on him. It's beautiful. I like it. I I like it. I think Jimmy did a good job, man. Um, if he can continue with this style and this juice, again, Brunskill played this game with different juice. He played this game with a different sense of confidence that he's had all year. You can see, I think because I've watched so much football, and like analyzed it, I've become kind of a master at analyzing football body language, and you can tell when someone has energy and when they don't. Especially when you've watched them enough, you can sense when a guy's feeling it, and you can sense when a guy isn't. And Daniel Brunskill was feeling it. Uh, Again, this is a back-to-back play, back-to-back Aaron Donald in one-on-one situation, back-to-back. It's beautiful. Complete. That's ownage. Before we saw where he's recovering again. I think it was this play. No, it was a play before. This play where it's more of a recovery situation because Aaron Donald does a really good job. I believe he sets up outside. So he's setting up almost kind of like an outside move, but then he counters to the inside. So trying to create the leverage, counter move inside. Uh, Again, Dan does a really good job walling him off. That's half the battle. People keep telling me that's a loss. This is half the battle of pass blocking as an offensive lineman. Keep your body in between the defender and your quarterback. They don't have eyes in the back of their head. This guy can move. He doesn't have concrete stakes in the ground. He can move. So as long as the offensive lineman is keeping his body in between the defender and the quarterback, that's half the dang battle. So again, back-to-back plays. This is a 3rd and 4. Gotta have it situation. Daniel Brunskill doing the Lord's work. Again, you miss the punch. He redirects, gets hands inside. Once he gets hands inside, then that little anchor kind of second juice step that he brings. Look at him. He wrote his ass out. Let's go, Brunskill. Let's go. Let's go. I'll take it. I'll take that all day. That's a dub. That's recognized as a dub inside that building. That's recognized as a dub inside that building. Let's see. What's this one? 15-22. This one I think is a Jimmy play. Don Burr. Goff is god awful. Yeah. I had higher hopes for Goff this year. It just feels like there's no weapons out there in Detroit. Who's your number one wide receiver? Amon-Ra St. Brown? And he is kind of not had the best year. This play by Jimmy, though. Give me this Jimmy all dang day. Give me this play by Jimmy all day. Do you know why? Look, hey, Jimmy, we dare you to throw outside. Tell me they're daring Jimmy to throw outside without daring Jimmy to throw outside. Look, you got 2 in-breaking routes. Look at how they bracket it. Bracketed. That's covered. That is covered. That's I dare you, Jimmy, to do anything else but the throw to the middle. It's still an in-breaking route. However, we know what Jimmy's MO is. So do other teams. This is what they've been doing to us all year. But this is the small adjustments that we're kind of seeing where it makes me optimistic, makes me feel good, makes me like if we can hit deep slants like this when you're running essentially a 10-yard cushion and you just run it like this is nothing crazy. They're just taking advantage of what the defense gives you. So if this is the move, great throw by Jimmy. Again, obviously it's covered instantly, but I love that his eyes are already there. So this is a pre-snap thing. I would have to imagine that he knows he wants to go to Ayuk, especially if they give him a specific type of look in the middle. But he's ready. And that ball came out on a freaking dart. And this is why it's so important to be able to hit your guys in stride, because once you get them in stride, then they have an opportunity to create. When you throw it behind, when you throw it high, it's harder for these guys to make football moves after the fact. So that's why it's awesome when quarterbacks put it on you. I always say bang it on them. Just bang it on them. This is what I mean. Bang it on them. Bang it on them. Like it's on Ayuk. Like it's on them. That's what I want. That's what I want. It's absolutely beautiful. Bang it on them. Boop. Love it. Good job, Jimmy. Good, Jimmy. Game Pass does not have all 22 anymore. They took that out, unfortunately. I have a top secret plug that sends me film every week. Shout out the plug. Always got to shout out the plug. I can't give up the plug though. It's not my plug to give up. But yeah, it's basically how you get all 22 these days is you know someone, and that's that's pretty much the only way you can get it. Like I said, they used to have it on Game Pass, and it was fantastic when it was on Game Pass. But they took it off. And honestly, I really think they took it off for a big reason. Like, I can break down tape right now. I can break down tape, and my stream isn't getting pulled for copyright. If I tried to do this with the broadcast, I I would last 5 seconds before my stream got pulled for copyright. Um, so I imagine that's a big part of why all 22 got pulled. I know guys have made careers off breaking down all 22 tape on Twitter, and now obviously being able to do that on YouTube. Um, so that's what it's probably a money thing. It's probably, something like that. It's probably has to do they're not benefiting enough from putting the all 22 on while other people are. So, yeah, what else do you expect from the NFL, right? Here's Debo again, vision. Uh, this is going to come for Elijah Mitchell. I promise you guys. Elijah Mitchell is really, I think, he's still dealing with all the ranges of outcomes of where he wants to go in these types of situations. Like, theoretically, I would say Elijah Mitchell in this instance picks this hole. Based on watching Elijah enough, he kind of goes where he's supposed to. So where you're supposed to go here is it's kind of going this direction. So it technically might not be bad, because if you kind of envision it right, you take a nice little step through here. Maybe you cut to the end, like a little stem inside, and then you break out. So there's a path where like that run probably works pretty well. But I don't see Elijah Mitchell bouncing it out like this. And so this all occurs because Debo Samuel is quick-witted and quick-witted to just cut it. Just cut it. You got to cut it and just cut it back. Like I said, Elijah Mitchell, he probably would have went straight, just based on his running tendencies at this point. But these are the small nuances of having the type of vision, understanding flow, and just the violent cutback. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Great run. And then the kneel down. Let's go. And that's a W. Um, there's a lot of other plays. I don't know if there's anything else. I'm sure I skipped over a couple. But yeah, this was a fun game to watch, man. It's a fun game to break down. Uh, really fun game to get in the trenches with and just enjoy football. Um, this was a fun game to break down. Oh, I mean, we're going on an hour 40 now. Do you guys have any comments, questions? The floor is yours before we get out of here. Um, hopefully, I'll be honest with you guys. I've been so offensive focused the last 2 weeks. I haven't done the defensive breakdown in a while. So I might have to come back tomorrow with the defense. I think the defense played really good. I haven't watched it back yet. But I think I'm going to have to do a defense. I'm going to have to do defense probably tomorrow. What's today? Today is Wednesday. So, yeah, if you guys liked this film session, of course, please like the video. That would be awesome. And 2, if you're not subscribed, hey, go do that. 3, if you liked it, come back tomorrow. I think that's what's going to be on the docket for tomorrow's content, is breaking down the defensive tape. I'm excited to break down that tape as well, because like I said, there's a lot of good plays, a lot of big plays, and all that good stuff. Joshua, the namer of the sourdough squad, says, I know we should only be focused on the week ahead, which is the Jaguars, but that Vikings game is going to be important for a W. 100%. 100%. 100%. If the 49ers can somehow go on a winning streak and take down Jacksonville and take down Minnesota and have a 3-game win streak headed into that game at Seattle, which is looking more and more like I need to get to. I think I need to get to that game, man. I think I need to. I think I need to go to enemy territory in Seattle. I've never been. I've always wanted to go. I think that might be the game because hell, Seattle's in the same spot as we are. They're beat up. They're kind of had a ugly season so far. But if they pick it up with Russell Wilson coming back, I mean, we'll see. But that could be a fun one to go to. So we'll see. We'll see. Ooh, this is a good question. How do the 49ers keep the great play going? I think it all starts with coaching. And I think we've been pretty consistent with that messaging on this channel for the whole year. Is when it comes to the offense. It's up to the off. It starts with the coaching, but it ends with execution. At least from offensive side of things, those things are always going to be connected. It's not one or the other. It can be, but I would say in our specific situation, it's the combination. It's a combination of odd play calling with a combination of lack of execution. This is why the offense hasn't been where it needed to be these first 9 weeks of the year. One of the reasons why this week was the way it was, you got plays like that out of your stars like Deebo Samuel, who, you get thrown into traffic, but at a certain point, you got to make a play. Playmakers were making plays. It felt like this week the ball was bouncing our way. But I also feel like luck favors the prepared. And when I'm saying luck favors the prepared, if you're hungry and you're after it and you're like you want that, and you know what I mean when I say you want that, like you want this dub, that there's an energy that's manifested that comes along with that. And when the entire unit is like that and they're just hungry for a W, everything starts to work and everything starts to fall into place. And it all starts with the energy, at least in my opinion. It starts with the energy that you create in the week of practice leading up to the game. I don't know how many games like I've played in where like we're a good team, but that energy wasn't there in practice all week. You hear coaches talk about it from time to time. We just couldn't get it together as a group all week, and we came out flat in the game, and it was the same result. That happens. So I think it starts with energy in the practice throughout the week. It starts with the messaging. Oh, is that Jeff Wilson knocking, dude? Oh, Jeffy. Do I have this play logged? What is this? 2150? Do I have this logged? Jeff Wilson lowering the shoulder. 21. No, I don't. What a silly. Let me log this. Jeff Wilson plows 54 over. I like this. So again, this and what I was kind of talking about too is scheme, is that they're onto something with this continued movement of pulling the tight end across the run formation. So this is kind of on the same question that you had asked. I kind of got squirreled again. I got sidetracked. Part of the way they continue to go about success is how they set up plays. And so what they have going right now with this particular concept, which I know it as Zorro, they're building a lot off of it. And I saw this game where they were setting up a lot of things to build off of it. So if they can get this base concept of their run game, which I think is this Zorro play. And again, the Zorro concept. No, this one isn't Zorro. That's my mistake. This is just Kittle pulling across the grain. But the running concept that they typically keep showing is the zone to one direction with a fullback blocking the opposite way, whether it's a pulling fullback, a pulling tight end, pulling wide receiver. This has been working for them, and it's done wonders. And I really like the finish here by Jeff Wilson to get 54 on his butt here. Really like that. Good play by Taylor Rapp. Taylor Rapp's a baller, by the way. Number 24. This dude's good. I like him. He's kind of tiny, but he's active. I like Taylor Rapp. I liked him coming out of UW, but he's pretty good. He looked like one of the best defenders on the field for them this game. So essentially, what I was trying to say is once you get this baseline concept, running zone left, but you're really running back against the grain. I think it makes things a lot more comfortable. And again, because they run this concept so much, it's because they have the best blocking tight end in football. And when the best blocking tight end in football is doing best tight end in football things, which is getting blocks, then you see these plays be successful. We saw countless plays against Cardinals, against the Colts, Seattle, just missed blocks on the edges that took maybe a gain that we got churned out maybe 4 tough yards here. This would have been a loss in other instances. So it's a combination of sticking with the base concepts, which I think this is it. And I think they need to keep it going and stick with the run. And again, they played complementary football as well. Defense stepped up, offense stepped up at the same time. Yes, you're absolutely right. I was calling it wrong. Zorro is the combo block with the skill players. You're 100% right. That was just a standard whatever cutback situation that was. But it's a combination of all these types of things on top of the execution. Like that's not execution, but executing and doing all that stuff together. I think that's how they continue it forward. I felt like the game plan against the Rams was solid. It's always solid. It's how do you kind of and extrapolate week to week. I think the Jags are okay on defense, at least from a personnel standpoint. But I think they're beatable. But again, it's up to the 49ers to play their game. And have to understand that if, Tom Compton's out there, again, knowing your personnel. If Tom Compton's out there, this is coming. Like, this is going to happen. And you got to be ready for it. There's a reason why that throw goes to the turf. Tom got beat right away. So it's going to be there's obviously a lot of factors in play. But I think it really comes down to coaching on the offense, implementing the correct scheme, calling the right plays at the right time. Again, how they emphasized running the football this week. I feel like they should do that every week. But hey, maybe that's just me. I hope that the continued success comes from running the football. That's what I hope. It's really what I hope. This is basically like the Zorro. This is the Zorro concept that we've been talking about. It's basically where you have this backside, whether it's tight end, fullback, running back, basically double concept here. He goes the outside, obviously. But that's the Zorro concept that we were talking about. Yes, that was crazy footwork. but Tom set himself up for that. Unfortunately, poor guy. Poor guy. I mean, that's okay by Tom. Ooh. So exactly. Exactly, Felipe. We've been waiting all year for this. We have been waiting. I have been waiting. That's why I've been so hyper focused on offensive tape, is because I'm trying to figure out why they can't get this together. I'm just trying to figure out why nothing is working all year. Um, and just trying to figure out like what's going on, guys. You have the talent. Like clearly they have the talent. Look at the guys that are on the field right now: Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle in the backfield. Look at this. Look, you got Juszczyk and Kittle flanking Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, I love the creativeness, the positional versatility that you have with these two guys. What you can do with them, scheme them open. Juwan Jennings has proven to be a really solid blocker. Um, Man, no, he doesn't. It's just for whatever reason. I know why, but people only talk about Brunskill when he does well against Aaron Donald. But he plays the same way against a lot of guys. It's just people have the perception that if he's playing that way against Aaron Donald, well, then he's playing good, rather than that's just he's been playing that way all year. Um, and it actually did not change a ton against Aaron Donald, other than the fact that Brunskill definitely had some more juice going. Definitely had some more juice going. But it was fun, man. It was fun tape to break down. It really was. Trent Williams continues to just be a master um, in the run game, in the pass game. Uh, Brunskill did a phenomenal job. Definitely one of his better games in the last couple weeks. I think Brunskill went through like a couple weeks stretch where he did okay. Like he did good. He didn't do great. He had bad plays, but he had more good plays than bad. But of course, we know how offensive line works. People pick up on the bad plays because like that's a good play. Like a casual fan isn't going to pick up like the game film and be like, "Oh, look at this! Look at the way uh, Brunskill just stonewalled Aaron Donald. Like Aaron Donald didn't want to do anything on this play. Like, like that's a win. That's a big win. That's a big win to be able to do that to Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald should not be able to just stand there unless he really doesn't give two craps in the world about playing. But if you want to get sunned by Daniel Brunskill, go for it. That's a win. But people don't like see that type of stuff, and they're like, "Oh, look at that block by Brunskill." You know what I'm saying? So that's part of it. It's just perception of Brunskill is what people are having a hard time with. They're just they think he's a lot worse than he really is, and then so when he has a good game against Aaron Donald, the people are just like their wires are crossed. They're like they don't understand it. In reality, he's not as bad as everyone seems to think he is. He's really not. Um, where's one play? I think I wrote this down. Where I put an emphasis on this a lot when I'm breaking down tape, especially the offensive line this year, of how good Mike McGlinchey and Daniel Brunskill were at passing off stunts. Um, they had undefeated. They didn't get beat this year. It's probably one of the biggest positives from that right side is that when it came to passing off stunts, which again is a tandem operation. Uh, it takes a lot of practice to be good at it. It takes a lot of nonverbal communication and understanding to be good at it. And I want to show, I think this is it. I think this is it right here, where they throw a late stunt. Nope, not it. Where is it? Compton, 1953. It's coming up. Okay, so you got to miss stunt here. They don't miss like this breakdown, guys. That has not happened all year. This breakdown on the right side of miscommunicating. And again, people look at this, they're going to look at Brunskill and they're going to be like, oh, what's this guy doing? This is miscommunication. This is miscommunication because he's already sliding to the right. However, you alert as a tackle, especially on an island, if you see the potential of an outside blitzer, like this is a corner blitz, and he sees it right away, but he didn't alert. And this is my assumption. I don't know for a fact, but based on everything that I've watched and how Mike McGlinchey and Daniel Brunskill they never did this. Like I'm talking about never. And Tom Compton comes in and they instantly miss a stunt. Like again, I've tried to put a lot of emphasis on this in past breakdowns, which is why I'm bringing it up again, is because this is what you lose in continuity when you don't have the starters in. This is something, this pass off, like as an offensive lineman, you got to be communicating. One of the things that Mike McGlinchey and Daniel Brunskill do on after every single play is they come together and they talk about the play. It's one of my favorite things from the tape of this year is how together those two were. And this is the drawback of not having that guy who is calling correct alerts or communicating properly, because he is sliding to the right, but he should be on alert much sooner for this. This should be coming. This should be red alert already. So just one of the things that's missed by Mike McGlinchey, the communication on that side of the offensive line is for sure missed. It is for sure missed, but it's okay. Hopefully Jalen Moore comes back. Like I said, I am it's officially like it's official thing. Like I want Jalen Moore to play right tackle over Tom Compton if he's healthy enough. His ability as a pass blocker, I'm not worried about him as a pass blocker. I can live with Jalen Moore as a run blocker. Again, you can scheme up chips. You can scheme up, kind of like the Zorro concept. Maybe you don't run it with the skill positions, tight end and tight end. Or maybe you run kind of the Zorro play, Zorro concept off Jalen Moore if you need to run right off his butt. So there's positives and negatives to both sides, but I would say at least from watching both Jalen Moore and Tom Compton, I know Jalen Moore can get it done in the pass blocking game. So that's the hope. The hope is Jalen Moore is available. But overall, it was fun. It was a fun watch. It's a fun breakdown. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow to do defense. We'll break down some defensive plays and we'll get through all that. And we'll start gearing up towards looking at the Jags and seeing how the 49ers can stack another win, because hopefully they can get it and keep this momentum on the right track. And we keep breaking down awesome football. So that is the hope. And thank you guys to everyone who has watched and contributed. I know I can get a little bit more tunnel vision on these film breakdowns. So appreciate everyone who's bared with me. Till tomorrow, guys.